Hello, crafty friends. This is Amy, and welcome to my channel. Today, we're going to be using just some wood scraps. I actually went to Home Depot and got these for 70% off of the original price, so they're pretty cheap. And I did cut these wood pieces down. So let's get started. This is actually a rub-on set from 49 in Market. I will list on my description box the actual way, the name of it. And it's just a typical rub-on. You'll cut it out and put it back or exactly where you want it. And it does come with a stick that you can use to rub it on. Very easy to do. If you're going to paint your piece like I did, just make sure the paint is good and dry. And I like this piece because I like how the white kind of shone through the color. I just thought that is so pretty. I wasn't sure, how full the color was going to be or opaqueness or, how it was going to look, but it is very pretty. And with this rub-on sheet, there was some neat little sayings on there, and so I thought I'd add that in on the bottom. And I did a few more as I was doing these, and I will show those in the next few slides and how they turned out. I actually did one where I kind of whitewashed it, where I took not even a paintbrush, but I just put on a wet paper towel, I put some white paint on there and whitewashed a board, and that will I'll be able to show you that one too. Now this one I didn't have any brown and I kind of wanted a brown, so I went with my paint I had, which was that cinnamon color and a little black, and I'm just gonna wipe it on the board and rub it on, wipe it back off so it didn't get too dark, and I think it turned out great. As you all know, I'm still in the process of moving, so this is doing my work in the camper. And so, but we're getting closer. We're actually going to be putting in an offer on a home, so I'm pretty excited about this, and even places where I can have my craft room. So here's this one. There's the one that I did the whitewash I was telling you about. Isn't it pretty? And there's a smaller piece. I just thought I'd show you those. We've got more here coming up. We'll do one more look at these pretty scrap pieces made into beautiful decor. And again, I will list the company, which is 49 and Market, and the name of it is in my description box. Let's keep going. DIY number 2. Now, this one is again 3 pieces of scrap, like I said, or maybe I didn't. I cut these down, just kind of random cuts to see. I knew I had some rub-ons. I kind of knew I wanted to do this, so I had 2 pieces that were the same and then one longer piece. And just gonna make a little pumpkin. And I'm just trying different techniques with that wet paper towel and some orange paint. And I kind of wanted it a little darker, so I guess that's what I got with the orange I did. And then I thought, well, instead of going darker, I'll just put some white on it. So I just kind of rubbed the white paint on there and actually kind of like how it turned out. So just dragging that across. And then I thought, well, I need a little more yet because that wasn't enough. And you know how it goes. Now it's too much. No, it actually was fine. All right, then I decided to do a little something with the stem. And like I said, I didn't really have a brown. So using what I had to kind of make it kind of a muddy, darker, yellowish, black, whatever you want to call it. But just kind of coming up with a stem. and just letting all that dry. It looks like I did wipe a little bit of it off. I was really fussing with this. I just didn't know the colors. I didn't like all the colors, but when it got done, I did actually like it. It was pretty cute. So here I'm just rubbing on a little more black just to kind of give it a little more detail. Perfect pick. That's what I picked from that rub on that I used in the previous DIY. They had such cute little things for like fall. I thought, okay, there we go. Just rub that on. And they're just easy to do. And then I wasn't quite done. We got to add a little more to this. So I've got some of these, couple of these, they're just little, I think they're brass, little brass leaves. Decided to go with just one and wrap the twine right around it and then glue it down. And you'll see in this video, I'm using a lot of like the quick dry Aleene's glue. It's because I didn't have access to my glue gun. So I did glue that leaf so it kind of stayed there. And this is how it turned out. Another little cutie with scrap pieces of wood. Well, let's keep rolling here. Here's DIY number 3. Okay, this one was kind of one of my favorites. Now, this would have been a napkin I got from, it'd be one of those let's see, Dollar Tree slash Family Dollar. They're kind of a combination store. And what I like about this napkin is it kind of looks like it's got a wood look. So I decided not to do anything with my wood piece. I just left it plain. I went with the Mod Podge. And of course, you always got to remember to take your napkin. It was a 2-layer, so brought it down to the 1 layer. And then just put that right on top. Now, a really good technique that I've learned over the years is you could put a little piece of like saran wrap, plastic wrap, and that'll help where you could just rub on there and you wouldn't tear the tissue paper, but I didn't have any. So I'm just trying to pat that on there and went ahead and did another coat right on the top and let that dry. And now you can take scissors. I ended up cutting that with a scissors. It was easy peasy. Or you could use like a little sanding paper and that'll come right off. And I love that this is just regular, I didn't do anything with the wood color. I just love how that shows through. I went outside in the campground. I found it's just a piece of bark from a tree and glued that on. I thought this looks like a nice little stem. And just had some ribbon and tied that around. The ribbon wanted to poke up, so I ended up, after I trimmed it down, I ended up kind of gluing it and then taking a little of that blue tape and taping it down so it didn't fly up. So here it is, it's kind of poking up. So I thought, well, we'll just glue a little bit down and it's just decor. It's okay. We can have that glued down. Put a little tape on there and let it sit for a little bit and it stayed just fine. Now, on my adventures, I actually was in Savannah, Georgia, in the United States here, and I actually found on the ground, it came from the tree, this Spanish moss. Can you believe that? I don't think you're allowed to pull it from the trees, but it was laying on the ground. So I actually picked up a little bit. I laid it out on the picnic table for it to dry, and I'm actually using that Spanish moss um, for these projects. There it is. Isn't that cute? A nice quick little decor, nice little pumpkin. What do you guys think? I like that one. I think it turned out really cute. Well, let's keep rolling here. We got another DIY. Okay, I got some Iron Orchid Design. These are those rub-ons, and these are so gorgeous. The ones they came out with this season are, oh my goodness. It's just, they're so cute and pretty. So here I'm going to start this one with the fox. And I was like, what do I want to do? So I went with some brown and so I gave it like a brown base. I was not sure what to do. I kind of kept it solid, and you'll just see what I was doing to trying to give it like a an earthy look. I'm not sure. Um, I didn't like this one as much as I liked the next one. But here I am using that technique of just a wet paper towel, trying to wipe that off and but yet leave some of it on, kind of give it a little grunge. And using what I had on hand, that's the thing. I don't have my craft room, but it's coming. I am looking forward to that. So here we got a little bit of lighter color, and I'm just gonna dab that on there. And I was just thinking, maybe like fall, looking. I'm just kind of winging it, doing whatever, just to give it a little interest. Now here's that cute little fox. And again, these are just rub-ons. They are very easy to rub on. It did come with its own stick, and just rub on and pull it up. If you happen to see some of the image that hasn't been put down, just lay it right back down and go over the top again. And you don't even need to seal it with anything. You can, but I didn't seal mine with anything. Now, I was looking at, I didn't really, I love the fox. I really didn't care for what I did with the block. So then, of course, I'm going to sand a little bit and, just fussing around with it. I'm not happy with it. And then I did drag that sandpaper over the image a little bit and scratched it. So then, then I really didn't like it. So, but I did want to show you the process and that you should not, put any sanding over anything like that because it'll scratch it. Here's the one I liked a little better. Is that squirrel not the cutest? So I'm going to do my kind of my wet, not whitewash, but this is like a yellow wash. And it just works so well with the colors of this. Now look at that little squirrel. So cute. And then you can see the paper's kind of a grid paper. You can line that up so easily to get everything nice and square. And just rub that little cutie right on there. And in my camping where we were camping at there was a an oak tree. And so I had little acorns that my husband was picking up when we were giving the dog walks. And so I've got a nice little collection of these little acorns. And this one happened to be like a little duel where it was two of them together. I didn't want to break them up. They were just so cute. But their little hats were coming off. So I had to glue those on. But got the Aleene's glue there, and just kind of set everything in place. And honestly, what I ended up doing is taping that down too. But then everything settled nicely and glued and stayed right where it was. Isn't that just cute? So there's the scratches in the little fox one, but look at that little squirrel. I love it. Oh my goodness. I think these were a little bit like Christmas designs, but they worked for this too. We got one more to show you here. These little hats I got at Hobby Lobby and they were half off, so I think I paid $1.50 for them. And getting my good old paint there, I think it's camel or something like that. This is perfect for little scarecrows. And so I'll just go through the process of putting on, like, you want a little base for their eyes. And the best thing to do is just start with the white. And I'm just kind of doing the circles. or ovals or whatever. And I had two of them, so I wanted to do both of them. So I'm just going to go on and do like the little nose, but I want that to look like a candy corn. And then let that all that dry, which it doesn't take long with acrylic paint. But that gives you a little base. Now, if you needed to draw it on with a pencil, that's fine. I just wanted to eyeball it. And so with the right type of paintbrush, you can do some pretty good line work. Um, I I like to practice stuff like this because I want to get better at doing the line work. And so it does help to have, fresh paint, you don't have the clumps. It helps to have the right paintbrush, you know, and then just take your time. And if you can't do it like this, you can just draw with a little pencil and cover it right up. So we're just going to make a couple little cuties here. Another thing I was going to mention too, like now we have, things that you could use that straw for. What I'm talking about is like at Dollar Tree, they've got these uh little skirts like I don't know, they're little grass skirts are they're supposed to be like a grass skirt, but they're, made of this um I don't remember I don't know. Anyway, you'll see what I mean. If you haven't gotten any, maybe now you could check your Dollar Tree. Sometimes they still have some of that stuff left over. I have seen it. I didn't need it because I've got a couple of these little grass skirts. But it's something that'd be good to keep on hand if you like to craft because I've used them for like Easter too for making little things with eggs and it just kind of comes in handy. They're long enough you can kind of wrap it around, stems or, whatever and just tie it if it's pretty long, so it comes in handy. Just a little tip. It's only $1.25. Now with little scarecrows, we've got little stitches to put in there, so I'm just working on that. So we got their faces on, and I just wanted to say again, I'm going to make it look like a candy corn. But before I do that, you always want to put the light in their eyes. That gives it life. And honestly, use a toothpick. This happens to be like a bobby pin for my hair. So we're using what we have. If you don't have these little hats from Hobby Lobby, you could take anything and make a little hat. I initially wanted to use just some burlap, and you could take it, wrap it around the top, and just gather it at the top. You could fold it. Um, you know, there's a lot of ideas you could do. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's a little scarecrow. Another thing that I would do with this little face, if I had my craft room, is I would give them a little blush on their cheeks. That really adds a lot. And this is that little skirt that I was trying to explain, uh, like a raffia type product. And I sped this up to show you, you don't have to be this precise. Just kind of experiment with things and just do it. But I wanted to kind of give it somewhat of a jaggedy bang, and so I'm just gluing those on there. And then once that kind of was dry, I did snip it with the scissors to kind of give it a jaggedy looking bang like you'd see on a regular scarecrow. Nothing's perfect. It's just supposed to be straw stuffed in, fabric and stuff like that. So then I had that extra, I just trimmed it off. And those little hats, they were a little bit not quite as wide for this little piece, so I ended up kind of smashing it to make it more oval rather than round. And again, I put the glue on there. I had to, put some tape on there to keep it down for a while. And you can see I also put on a sunflower. And here is some fabric that I'm using from Dollar Tree and just going to give him a nice little scarf. Him, her, whatever you want it to be. So more gluing and then putting the blue tape to hold it. And now I'm just going to put more of the little skirt in there because it's so stuffed. It's just coming out. And there they are. Two cute little scarecrows. Little bit of decor. You could put that on a tiered tray or, a shelf sitter, however you wanted to do that. Make a cute little gift. Just have fun with it. I'm looking forward to making more videos and missing my subscribers and friends that talk. And so, hey, we're going to make more fun things. Christmas is coming, and I love that. Take care, my friends, and we will talk again soon. All right, bye bye.